Hello, 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 people. We are live. Welcome to Chat Her Up. Today, we are going to recap Real Housewives of New Jersey's season 14, episode 6. Um, and it's titled Marges and Marriage, which aired June the 9th. All right, so give me a second. It's me just for the second. I got a couple of folks that are gonna pipe in here. But today we're going to kind of recap this episode. Um, this was kind of a interesting episode. It was quiet. It was kind of people would argue a little. It did have an argument at the end, but for the most part, people aren't necessarily pleased with what's going on in this season. And I don't have any tea for this week, but I do have a suggestion for all of these franchises and ones that start. I know we don't have no pool, but if I did, these women should be required to try to work things out. I know that may sound unrealistic to some people, in your real friend groups when, you fall out, you fall out. But in real friend groups, when you fall out, you're not forced, nor are you paid to be with people. So I just feel like these standstills that have become common on a couple of franchises, they need to stop. Like, I don't care what the situation was, unless it's a situation that happens at finale. If you're fighting during the season, they should be trying to hash out everything at reunion. And the next season, they should at least start off as if, at least make a good faith effort to try again. And while you don't necessarily have to stay friends, because that next season somebody else could say something that could tick that person off. I'm not saying that everybody has to get along. That's not even realistic. I'm just saying that at the end of the seasons, they should leave that stuff there. Unless it's something that happened at the end where they have to carry it on to work it out for the next year. Like what we've seen at reunion. Sometimes things happen at reunion that has to be explored for the next season. I get that. But I'm talking about, generally speaking, I just personally don't feel like these ladies should be at a standstill and refusing to talk from the first season, from the first episode to the last. That has to stop. And if you don't want to talk to somebody, I get it. Guess what? Get another job. They should not be allowed to film and not speak to each other. And I ain't talking to you for an episode, but you can't be at a standstill with somebody. You can do that off camera. We can't continue to watch television where people aren't talking and they aren't communicating. That's really why we watch this. It's supposed to be a friend group, even if it's manufactured and fake and temporary, but it's a friend group, and it's the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows, the hills and valleys, whatever analogy, metaphor you want to use, whatever. I'm just simply saying they should not be at standstills like that. And I also don't think the husbands should be arguing at the other women either. I'm okay with Teresa and Joe fighting. They're siblings. That's a real family issue. I wasn't comfortable watching that Uncle Fester looking dude talking to Teresa like that. And I'm shocked that Luis was so calm, and he was calm. I don't know if that was really their game plan, which is fine. But, I probably, if he had stepped up, it probably would have escalated. So, but we'll get there. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the season. I was just, since we didn't have a chapstick moment of the day or week, I had just went with, these standstills have to stop. They should be punished in some kind of way. And really, the way that they're paid per episode. It looks like this season was shortened because of whatever happens now at finale, or people maybe refuse to film because this season was jacked up. They were supposed to go on a trip out of the country. That didn't happen. I don't bit more believe that hotel burned down than the Man in the Moon. So it's a lot of things that would normally happen in the season that didn't happen because of this standstills. That has to stop. And I get, if you ain't talking to nobody, fine. Go find another job. It's a whole lot of jobs. You don't have to talk to nobody. Work from home. But we don't want to see it. So that's why I was actually, I had, well, here's a kind of a chapstick moment. If you watch Potomac, there's a clip going around. It was Wendy's birthday. And all I can say is thank God they celebrate Wendy's birthday and not Karen's. Thank God. But Wendy has turned 40. And there's the video clip and there's a bunch of pictures. But in the video clip, Wendy hugs Giselle. And they all taking pictures together. Things look friendly. There it is. You have to be able to get along. I believe all of them got a talking to at Potomac. I never thought that just one person did. I mean, there had to be a conversation for Giselle to be able to say, I was told she was going to get talked to. And I wondered why all that entire reunion, Wendy wasn't her normal kind of snarky self to anybody outside of Aneka. It wasn't the normal kind of whatever. Now, there was a rumor that Giselle and Wendy made amends at reunion, because I believe they all got a talking to. I do believe that. And I did hear that they had made amends to move forward. And I definitely believe just Candace was fired because she wasn't willing to make that amends. And Robin as well. Well, I think Robin wasn't there because Juan wasn't. And I really think that's jacked up. But I really think that's why she was fired. But anyway, let's get on to Jersey. Jersey starts off with their little cutesy little scenes. They went to, I think, Danielle first, who's getting ready for Fashion Week. And then they went to Teresa and Luis playing basketball. And then probably the first segment was of Rachel calling Margaret on the phone to tell her what happened at the little boujie party. And of course, she's there to absorb all the gossip. And of course, they talk about Teresa. I really did trip off that they literally talked about Teresa in every single scene outside of Danielle's scene. Like, goodness gracious. Like, what would they be talking about if Teresa wasn't on this ding dong show? They have to get their own storylines. And it is kind of crazy because I've seen this before. I've seen them do this. I'm sure they film other things outside of what gets aired, but everything, it has a priority toward Teresa. This could be her goodbye season. That's why they're doing it, because she really is talked about in every episode. It's insane almost. Like nobody else is doing anything. At least, even if it's over now, I as a mother who just sent out their oldest to college, you do feel it's weird. Your house feels off balance. And I was just it was just two. I just have two daughters. So I can even understand Melissa trying to get used to what, life is, because it's a little bit different. Even though you have other children, it's just off balance. And it doesn't feel on balance until they visit. It really does make a difference. And the child some of us was kind of eager to get rid of. I ain't gonna say get rid of, but I needed my daughter to go away to school, so I thought that was good for her, and I almost had to push her out the door, but she went and was highly successful, and she graduated in 4. So, I mean, she even has somewhat of Melissa has somewhat of a storyline. Dolores has one, although only thing Teresa's is she's just on defense. Like, and that's how it's been for the last 3 seasons. That irritates me. That really does irritate me. But anyway, what you think about Dolores and Paulie having that conversation? And basically Paulie telling her he was kind of rude to her, in my opinion, in that scene. Because she's basically saying, what are you going to do about this divorce? And he literally said, if I get a divorce today, you think I'm going to marry you tomorrow? Like, that was kind of rude to say that. Demisio, you there? No. But anyway, I thought that was really rude of Paulie to say that. Even if it's his truth, I think it's a weird thing to say when you have a woman that you're living with, and we already know you done told somebody you didn't bought a ring. It's just kind of rude. It seems like it's something in my mind that I would see as a woman of a certain age as a clue, a red flag, so to speak. I don't necessarily feel like that's cool to kind of string a woman along. Again, Dolores is a very attractive woman for her age, and not in general. I don't want to say for her age. She's an attractive woman, and I don't take too kindly to men that are wasting a woman's time, especially at that age, because you tired of games. You know what I mean? We could argue that it's Dolores' fault. Dolores has got involved with a man that is not available. And when you get involved with a man that's not available, you have to deal with the fact that he's not available. That's an unfortunate. And if he doesn't meet whatever, I would definitely set a timeline. And if he doesn't meet that timeline, you have to make a decision on whether or not you're going to deal with it or you're going to move on. His attitude wasn't nice to me. I kind of think she might like guys who are a little rough around the edges, although that doctor guy didn't seem that way. This lady may be. I mean, this guy may be. But anyway, I just didn't like how Paulie was very dismissive, in my opinion. Okay, this Danielle love it all. Danielle is now dealing with going to she has like a boutique. She has little children's clothing and her little babies, and I think a couple of her friends' children, and some agency, are walking her line in Fashion Week, which I think was pretty. That's an accomplishment for any woman that is into design or into clothes. I 100% respect that. And I loved when she said something like, I wish 14-year-old me could see me now. It's a big deal, especially when you feel like your passion is validated in some kind of way. And I would imagine having a dream as a little girl like that and it coming true, it makes you feel good. It feels like you made it. With that being said, Danielle does not fit this franchise. And I actually like her. She's spunky. She's a little, she's straight up Jersey. She's Jersey. And maybe with another set of girls, or even if they revamped Real Housewives of New Jersey, she could be the only one that they kept. I would actually be okay with that. She does not fit this group of girls to me. Just period. But like I would have no problem with seeing her with another set of girls, but not these girls. I just don't think she's a good fit. I'd have to tell, if I told you why, you would say I'm elitist, but I'm really not. I actually like seeing women that have a little something, something. And she is not quite there. And I know that it was originally not necessarily like that, because I know in Atlanta, like none of those ladies, actually Sheree, fit the wealthy, and of course the Shine did. And actually Lisa Wu did. Really, Nene was the only one that didn't. That really wasn't like really, really wealthy. They just, they would become wealthy and we would watch her grow. But Danielle is very common. Now, some people, and what I mean by common, she's regular. And what I mean by regular, she's no different than me. And, I live in a middle-class family, and I have a middle-class family. We live in a middle-class neighborhood in the suburbs. I don't necessarily think I'd be good TV either, if I'm keeping it a buck. But I just don't think she fits these girls. So, you can't put, and Rachel definitely falls underneath that too. It's difficult for me a lot of times to watch a lot of TV shows that have both millennials and Gen X in there, because usually their thought process is so different. And I guess I see Danielle's as a little bit different than what I see Rachel. I don't know if Rachel is following, sometimes when you're a really, really big fan of reality TV, you learn the game. That's what it feels like to me with Rachel. I think we know that she came on because of Melissa. She was Melissa's friend. But there's like rumors out there that they got on this show by flooring Melissa and Joe's house. That and he promised to help them get on the show if they did that. That's a rumor that's out there. Whether or not it's based off of any fact, I really don't know. But that's definitely been floating all across them Facebook groups and all in Twitter. That flooring was an exchange to get on the show. Because Rachel is only 33 years old. She looks much older because she puts all that Botox and stuff in her face, but she's a young girl. And what I mean by that young girl, like, she's literally, like, I wouldn't pay her any attention to if I was Teresa. Like, you get in your 50s, you think I'm going to argue with a 33-year-old? I'm just not. I'm just flat out not. It's stupid. Like, it's like arguing with your daughter or something like that. Like, I don't think, if memory serves, Rachel G is like, I think she's 24-ish. Like, she might be like 8 or 9 years older than Gia. I don't know. I don't necessarily like seeing Gen Xers. Gen X with millennials. It's not good TV to me. But it is what it is. Anyway, there's the next scene is Margs. I don't know where she went, on a golf course or whatever. And they invited, she had a couple of her regular friends, and Melissa was there, and Dolores was there, and so was Melissa. I'm surprised Jenn Fessler wasn't there, but she wasn't. Jenn Fessler was actually having cocktails with Jennifer Aiden. I was surprised about that as well. But anyway, of course, they're talking about what happened at the boujie boutique event. And when they're sitting around talking, of course, they end up talking about Teresa again. Like, I'm so, like, every single solitary scene. Then you go to the next scene. If you go back to, Fessler and Jennifer, like, they're not talking about her negatively. My whole thing is, if y'all not talking to each other, why talk about each other? That's so stupid to me.
I am here. I am here.
What?
I said I'm here now.
Oh, well, come on, say something.
I was out because the show went on. My other show went on longer than what I was expecting it to. So now he's on his last caller. So now I kind of, I can kind of let him, finish it on out by itself now.
All right.
What have you talked about so far?
The first couple of scenes. I was on the scene where Marge
Jackie and
Melissa,
Teresa.
yeah, no, not Teresa. Marge was with. She had taken like Rachel and Melissa.
Oh, I came at the right time because let me go on a rant real quick and wear Marge, y'all. And I just excuse my language, y'all, because y'all know how I am. But that scene right there is one of the prime examples of why Marge is a low down raggedy ass bitch. Like, for real. Marge is a low down ass bitch. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because you know that Jackie is, like, I don't want to call her crazy or nothing like that. I don't know the politically correct thing to say,
that she's not mentally. She doesn't have a lot of strength in that regard.
Yes.
You know where her triggers are.
Yes. And so for Marge to get her raggedy trout mouth ass up there and say some bullshit like that about somebody that's supposed to be your friend.
What did she say?
Melissa had told them that she had invited Jackie to a housewarming, and Marge chimed in and was like, oh, good, because, she would have went on a deep, dark, downward spiral if you did.
Oh, right.
Like, you are a raggedy ass bitch. Yeah. Like, for real. And I see why Jackie rather be over there with Teresa, because damn, you might as well hang out with your enemies, because if that's what you call a friend, girl, please.
Yeah. That's what she really thinks about you. I always say, you want to know how a person feel about you, get them mad.
And they ain't even fell out for real.
Yeah.
Yet. And that's how you speaking about somebody that's supposed to be your friend. Like, come on, Marge. See, that's Marge's problem. She always in everybody else's business instead of trying to fix her own. Girl, talk about Jan. You need to worry about that. That's why it's eating your ass up the way it is, because you dead ass motherfucking wrong, and you don't know how to cope with it now that he dead, because you cheated on that man a good portion of your marriage, and then married his friend, because 9 out of 10, him and Joe probably was friends, as well as him being his plumber. Then got married a week later, and now that the man dead, now you realizing how fucked up that is, and now you're feeling sorry and trying to pity yourself, and you need to crawl into some deep dark hole and never show your sorry ass face again, because Marge, you are a piece of shit. You are a piece of shit, and you are a whore. Like, I cannot stand Margaret. Like, for real, she is trash. Focus on trying to heal that. You need to be worried about your own mental health and your own traumas while you're trying to poke fun at somebody else's. You need to be worried about trying to fix that. That's why you always in somebody else's business, sweeping and throwing rocks at a glass house when you live in one, Brooke Logan.
Anyway, I just think that whole scene was ridiculous.
I just had to go on a tangent, y'all. I'm sorry.
That whole scene was ridiculous. And I thought it was, I'm so sick of these dudes, these grown men acting like frat boys.
It's so irritating. Like, y'all are 50.
Yeah, it's like I guess they didn't got praise for it, but it's like crazy. It's not entertaining anymore.
Like, maybe if we liked them, it wouldn't be as bad. Like maybe if it was Paulie and Nate and Bill, Aiden and Louis, I'll probably be like, okay, they cool. And Evan.
I don't know.
But
I
I
don't
don't
know
like
about
Joe.
them.
I don't like Jenn Fuda. I don't like Joe Benigno simply
No, it's
because of
the by
Marg.
they self part. I don't mind if they with their wives. I don't want to see them by themselves.
But I mean, we all know that the Jersey men are basically a part of the cast. If no other show is, their husbands are involved. So it's like something that you just kind of get used to. 'Cause
I guess. Anyway. The next scene is of Rachel and Fuda kind of giving each other a prep talk, I guess, before they head into this meeting with Teresa and Louis. And I don't know if you wanted to talk a little bit before we go there about anything that Jennifer and Jenn Fessler, what's her name?
Well, I do want to say this. Like I said, I know I did come in late, you guys. I'm sorry, but I did want to say, and I don't know if I said this last week or not, but I'm going to say it again simply because I just thought it was hilarious. When Jackie went to Teresa's house and she was like, when she called Mars
Oh
Sherlock
yeah,
Holmes, that made me
yeah.
die and fall out on the damn floor. Like Edmund, what's the man name? Edmund, Chase just was saying this on our show. He was calling her Edmund Kroom or something like that. You know what he's talking about?
Mm-mm.
It just was funny because I know it had to just be funny since he was relating it to. And when she said that, when Jackie was like, she almost fell out her chair when Teresa called Jenn Fuda a parking attendant, that
Right.
had me on the
That
floor.
I bet you it was much funnier than how it landed because they cut that scene real bad. That
Yes.
scene went from her asking her a question to say, "What is he, a parking attendant?" And I was like, "Huh?" I kept rewinding it. Am I missing something? I wasn't. That scene was cut. A whole lot was said at that table,
Oh,
and I wish they had
absolutely.
showed the whole thing.
But yes, that had me dying laughing as well. I was glad that Jackie had brought that. I'm glad that Jackie brung that up because that was extremely funny. Because I don't even think Teresa knew that was like kind of like a read. Like she gave a quick little read, and I don't even think she even like realized that. Like she read him real quick. Like because Teresa is not the you know brightest can of beans in the can. But
Mm-hmm.
no, what I thought about Jenn Fessler and both the Jens meeting up, I
Mm-hmm.
loved it. It was a cute little kiki. I think Jenn
Mm-hmm.
Fessler looks amazing. Like I love Jenn Fessler. Like I love Jenn Fessler. Like I really, really do. She can do no wrong to me right now. She is on the right side of history, and I thought their little kiki was just, it was funny. They was a kiki being slick being messy, but not being too messy. Sharing their little giant drink. Like I think that was like kind of like a classic housewives little scene. What do you
Mm-hmm.
think?
I mean, I thought it was fine. I like all the ladies if they're talking to each other. I think they should be. I had talked a little bit about they have to be talking to each other. Like not talking to
Right.
each other is a problem for me because I don't. If I don't want to watch people, I mean, who wants to watch people not solve an issue that we're screaming into the TV like the whole time, but they're
Right.
talking about each other on separate scenes. That's not good TV. Like I hope Jersey gets the same dang on talking to that
They gave all of Potomac basically.
gave Potomac because you cannot go season after season and it doesn't solve a problem. And not solve a problem. It's not good TV. It's like you become frustrated. Like there are people who watch shows and it literally can raise their blood pressure. And because it does, they'll just stop watching it because it's not worth it because they get frustrated. This is why I think the Bravo audience is losing a lot of people and they're relying
Hmm.
too much on fans hyping up a person. That you can't do that. You can't let the fans dictate how you move on this show. It messes up the show because you're looking for outside people. It's not. It just messes up the show, and it shows on television. It's fun when you have people that look. That realize that, yeah, we're on reality TV. Yeah, we're here to entertain you, but this is also a paying gig. This is a paying job. I get paid per episode. So I'm going to show up at times I don't want to, but I got to. And I'm and by the end of the season or a reunion, we're going to try to come to some kind of truce. And make in next season, you come on and at least make a good faith effort. Even if it fall apart episode 2, that's okay. At least we'll know why. That really shows the ebbs and flows of friendship. But when you just at a stalemate, you ain't talking to each other, and you on screen kikiing and trying to read each other in confessionals instead of talking to each other, that becomes frustrating to the audience. It becomes frustrating. But I had mentioned Danielle and her little walk week early. I mean, her and her.
Child, I skipped through all her scenes.
Well, it wasn't interesting, but I can respect as a girl wanting to do something and a dream comes true, even if it's a newer dream. Because some, you have children, or maybe she was a sewer, and she opened this boutique. I don't know. Girls dream differently, and it's a big deal if you are interested in fashion in any kind of way and be able to participate in Fashion Week. It is a big deal. But so with that being said,
that's true.
I don't think she fits this cast. And I was saying that I would be okay, though, if they had to revamp the show, they could actually revamp the show around her. She's very Jersey, but she's also very common.
I wouldn't say revamp the show around her. They maybe could keep her.
Because they could literally get rid of everybody. They could definitely, if like for real, I would get rid of people I actually like.
I definitely agree with what's been going around, which is they think that a lot of people have been saying scrap everybody and keep Dolores and Teresa. And to be honest with you, I'm okay with that. I would even be okay with keeping Dolores, Teresa, and Jennifer. Because we all know, at least it's not like all three friends. Like, we know Dolores and Jennifer have like their little issues with each other, so it wouldn't just be like this automatic. All three of them are like super, super close.
They wouldn't do that only because to them it would be, the us versus them. Whoever the us is, let's say the us is Teresa. It looks like us is one and thems were all rejected. So they would not keep Dolores. They might keep Teresa and they might keep Jennifer, but they would not keep Dolores. And I like Jennifer Aiden because she's very messy. And she's not afraid to be messy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I would definitely keep Teresa. But you have to pick a them.
Because Teresa brings the ratings. Like, well, look at the Watch What Happens Live ratings with Margs and Melissa and them compared to Teresa's.
Right. I'm trying to think of somebody on the them side of all of them. Not Teresa. I would keep Rachel before I would keep Marge or.
Right. Yeah. Right. Like I said, Rachel is not horrible. It's really just her husband that's annoying.
Is his? Did he just get new dentures, or did he get what do you call them thing, veneers or something? Because his mouth it's not working right. He hasn't gotten used to it. If you notice how he hold his mouth and his jaw shifts and stuff, have you noticed that? Okay, he didn't put me on hold. But anyway, yeah, but anyway, there's another scene of Rachel and her husband talking up while they're headed to see Teresa and Luis. And when they're kind of sitting around talking, he's talking about this whole thing about her apologizing to him, and I'm really wondering what he's asking for an apology for, because saying that he was a drug dealer, is that what he's asking her for to apologize for? Because he spent an awful lot of time bringing up his ex, I don't know if it was his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, but his son's mother, and it felt like they wanted her to apologize for bringing that up, which I think is absurd because he brought that up.
I think she wanted an apology for both. He wanted an apology for both situations, but didn't want to
they
give an
cut that
apology.
scene back. Yeah, I would absolutely not apologize for that. Like he absolutely brought that up. They should have never used that girl. I mean, you can't talk about somebody, mention their child, and not.
Oh, and for Rachel to say that she was his mama and that lady wasn't, just burned my biscuits.
Yeah, that was kind of quirky to me, because you are, I'm not saying that you're not his mother, but it was an unnecessary
Big.
big. Yeah. Like, we know that you're taking care of that boy, but
Like, girl, you don't have to throw it in our faces. And
yeah,
please stop acting
and
like John was not a big drug dealer. Like, it's all has came out online. We all can read people that he used to serve to. Like, they all have literally came out and was like, baby, he was serving more than weed.
they
Multiple
say he was
people.
selling meth.
All of that. So just like, girl, stop it, Rachel. Stop it and own it. Own it, baby. You're on national television. So you should have knew that it was gonna come out. Like, girl, just own it. He did it in his past and it's over. Y'all love to bring up Teresa's past. So, baby, come on, why can't she bring up his? And y'all started with them first. That's why I didn't get like all of it. It's just like
It
you are
was,
mad at
and
them.
it was out of the blue, because but all I keep hearing, I had talked a little bit about this, is I was wondering why Rachel came in kind of hot. And this is what I think. There's rumors out there. I don't know if it's true, but there are rumors out there that Joe promised to help get Rachel and John on the show if they tiled their house. So they tiled the house, and now they got her on the show. And all I keep thinking is, all of the way that she talks like she knows Teresa is because Melissa has been in her ear.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's almost like, but it feels like when I was listening to them go backwards and forward, I said it was almost like Melissa has been replaced.
Yep.
Like Melissa.
It's like Joe Gorga was doing it. Like, if they do get rid of us, at least we got somebody else there.
Yes, that's what it seems like. You got a few, because it seems stupid. Like, what grown man is requiring another woman to apologize for calling him a drug dealer when he was literally caught with drugs in the car?
And then on top, to double on that aspect of it, they started with them. Teresa and Louis and them didn't do anything to John and them during last season. They hopped on Marge's bandwagon just because that's what followers do. Monkey see, monkey do. And that's just what it was. And now they want an apology, but they're not offering to give one back. And it's like, it does not work like that. Regardless of whether Teresa's apology was sincere or not, she gave it to you. Not once, but twice.
Sure did. And that's how I know that they went in there hot and left out on fire. They went in not to resolve, because who gets to measure the sincerity of somebody else's apology?
Yeah.
I mean, I could kind of understand if she's sitting up there giggling and she like, sorry, you idiot. Like, okay, we can agree that's not a sincere apology. But if somebody says, okay, I'm sorry. Like, and it wasn't like she was grinning or anything like that. And she gave it to you twice. he had no desire to make things right, like zero, like zilch. And I don't know if you saw the scene. Teresa and them come in, they got a wine box, and they asked, she asked Teresa, she asked Rachel, because she specifically said, can you give my brother, it just came across my this for this evening, because apparently when they leave here, they're headed over to the housewarming party. So she just shook her head, yes. So the gift sits on the table. So they said on Watch What's Happening Live, Teresa said that was Louis wanting to give that to Joe, which is fine. But what was in it was a bottle of wine that has been a favorite of their father's. And that is a good gesture. That's actually a lovely gesture, because somebody posted in one of the groups Teresa and him toasting this very specific drink that they had done on the show, they had done off the show, and pictures of them doing it together for their father. So this, and once with their father. So whatever this drink is, that was his favorite bottle. And that is a lovely gesture. Because, I mean, it's not like they wanted a toaster or anything. They just wanted, I thought it was nice. And I wonder what he would think when they watch this scene. And I did see the scene of them telling Melissa, and that's where it becomes tricky. Teresa was very specific about giving it to her brother, not them or Melissa. It was for him. And that is where the issue is with those two. Teresa wants a relationship with her brother. She don't give two cares about Melissa. And Joe don't want no parts of it. Joe wants her to accept his wife. And that's just a tricky situation, because I personally, if I didn't like somebody that my brother liked, I would still make sure my relationship with my brother may not be, perfect, but I would have one. You know what I mean? And if Joe, even if it was a situation where it's on the phone, it's him, I'm not, if y'all not getting along, nobody's asking him to come over for Christmas or my birthday or anything, but I would be on the phone with my brother. I would have a rapport with my brother. I personally just couldn't imagine that. Because like, no matter what, here I am talking, and I don't even talk to my sister, but we see each other and we talk, we just don't talk.
Yeah, same with me and my older brother. Like, we're
across from me, and everybody was talking about music, and she said something, I would say something back. My daughter even mentioned it. She said, y'all talk. She literally just said this. This is really what made me say this. She said, y'all talk, but y'all don't talk. Like, we used to talk. We used to hang. We used to go on vacation together. We can't. That vacation is really why we not talking.
Oh my God.
Like, literally. But yeah. Anyway, I thought it was funny that Louis was laughing at Fuda. Like, I know he was like, this dude is a clown. Like, they came over here to clown. And I'll give Rachel credit that she remained calm while they were all sitting at that table. She did. She tried to keep him calm by touching his shoulder, but they didn't go there for reconciliation. They went there for a moment.
Yeah.
They didn't go there to sit down and have a conversation. Like, and he wants to bring up his ex and what she did. Even Teresa was like, it whispered. Like, and she probably covered the mic or something because you could barely hear. She's like, I don't want to talk about Jaden's mom. Like, and she's like, even Teresa understands that, because while you could have a parent that is locked up and they could know what happens, Jaden at some point may have a conversation with his mother or may desire to. You just don't know. And the fact that they're being so cold about it is crazy. Unless she has decided that she didn't want to have anything to do with her son. And I don't think I didn't get that impression with the things that were being said. I could be wrong, but I just don't think they should be talking about that lady. Even with the things that she said, that people read it, but I mean, she's locked up. Everything she said could have been absolutely true, or it could be an absolute lie. Nobody's holding her to the things she said as the Bible. You know what I mean? So I just didn't think bringing up, he claimed she ran into 55 miles an hour and broke his. That's probably why he shaped a little bit like Shamar, because he is kind of twisty. So that's probably why his body is like that. And remember, he had took off his shirt and he had all those scars on
I
him.
cannot what you talking about.
I'm serious. You don't remember that? You don't
He
remember when he took his
twisted. Talking about Shamar. Oh my god.
right, he do. His body is twisty. You had noticed that? That was one of the reasons why I say he looked like Uncle Fester. Like he on his shoulders was real broad. I don't know if y'all trip off that he pops all of his collars, like from the night
Yeah.
he pops his collars, which make him look like he don't have no neck. That's why I say look. You know who Uncle Fester is? You ain't never watched the Addams Family?
Oh yeah.
He
I'm
was the
screaming.
bald headed one with the dark eyes. He didn't
Yes,
have.
I know. I know who you talking about now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like Uncle Fester. But I don't know why he pops some collars like that. He too old for that. And
So
he too old for that. I think he was born in the 90s. So I don't know why he doing that, but he straight pop his collars. Maybe that's a Jersey thing. I don't know.
I don't know, but I know he do it, baby.
What you think about that last scene? Because that's it.
What I already didn't say, yeah, baby. Rachel and her husband, we already really discussed it. Really, like they came looking for a moment and it's clear.
Yeah.
Teresa apologized not once but twice, and regardless of whether it was sincere or not, she did it. And you didn't even offer one back, even though y'all are the ones that started with them. They didn't start with y'all.
I
Y'all
mean,
started
what would
with
be a
him.
sincere apology? Her on her knees?
I don't know. I don't know what he want. And I know I didn't like the fact that Louis just didn't
Sat
say
there.
anything.
I think he didn't want to escalate it because he was kind of talking to her, in my opinion, a little rough.
He was.
And I didn't like that. I started off talking about that because I'm okay with her and Joe. He talked real rough to her too. And I'm okay with that only because they are siblings.
Yeah, and
You
Teresa
know,
talked rough back.
and
So
yeah, no, she really don't. She actually doesn't. Girl,
yeah, I mean she can't.
she really
I would say
does.
she do it to Melissa. I would
She
say that.
definitely does it to Melissa, but she don't talk like that to her brother. Like and it's crazy because all of his insults are always on her. And her insults are about Melissa. She takes it back to Melissa. Like, and Joe is the one saying these awful things. But yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. I just wish they would make a decision because you definitely can't have another season of them at a standstill since you're not having a reunion and there isn't anything that could be said. I hope you all pull on your big boy draws, Bravo Network, and pick a side or pick people. And if they don't want to work with each other, if you all want to get rid, because you could literally at this point get rid of like you said, Marge and Melissa, and just keep Rachel. I don't even like her, and I said I would keep her because
Yeah,
Rachel and her husband pretty much are carbon copies of Joe and Melissa.
and
You don't,
child is something new at least.
yeah, at least it's something new. So I would definitely get rid of Melissa. That would be an easy choice. And I would get rid of Marge, because Marge reminds me of how she was sitting in the series is the same way that I saw Renna sitting in Beverly Hills. She was just toxic. It had gotten to the point where it was so toxic you can't move past nothing because of her. That Marge is that thing. It's
That's
not
a perfect
Teresa.
example.
It's not Teresa. It is Marge. Marge is the one that is holding too many purse strings on other people, because even Jennifer Aiden got a brain of her own. Like Teresa is on somebody. Teresa ain't controlling nothing. It's nobody that thinks that Jennifer is on Teresa's side because she wants to be, but if it's situational, just like everything else.
Yep,
So
she always agree with Teresa.
yeah, she don't always agree with Teresa. So I mean, but Marge and Melissa, they are the heaviness of this. If you remove them, it'll be a halfway decent show. So if Marge isn't there, one could assume that what's her name won't be there either. That Jenn Fessler won't be there either, and that's fine. I like her, but that's fine.
I doubt that. I think if they fire Marge and offer Jenn Fessler to come back, Jenn Fessler's coming back.
Okay.
I definitely think
I
that.
don't know. I don't know.
Definitely think Jenn
And
Fessler will come back.
and if y'all are gonna keep Teresa, you can't keep Danielle.
You think so? I don't.
You
Danielle has
can't
been
keep
just
both.
super annoying to me this season
Yeah,
anyway. So really, she can go. Like she's more
yeah.
Jersey Shore anyway. So
Yes, that's why I was saying she's definitely Jersey, but I don't know if it's the shore or the house. I don't know if it's the shore or the house. So, I just don't see her as a good
you see
fit.
my text
Mine.
in the chat, in this chat, in our studio chat.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, before it
All
get
right.
too late.
Oh yeah, we finna go. So anyway, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it. This episode was okay. A lot of people aren't liking this. If you're reading the group, a lot of people say, "Oh, this is boring. It's the same old, same old." Nobody wants to keep seeing this manufactured, fake outrage. It's just not great TV. But with that said, we gonna keep on tuning in, and we hope y'all can endure with us for a little bit. Let's see what's coming down the pike, because whatever it is supposed to be really big, according to everybody that talk about it. So we gonna see. With that being said, peace out, y'all. And
Bye, guys. We're
if
going
you
to do Love
watch,
and
if
Huntsville next. So catch
yeah,
us over.
if you watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, we are going to meet at 8 o'clock. Not on this link, but on another one. Peace out.